Hey there, amazing friends. I warmly invite you to join me on this exciting journey by subscribing to my channel, liking, commenting, and sharing my videos. Every like, comment, and share brings us closer together and fuels my passion to create more great content. Your support truly makes all the difference. Thank you for being the heart of this community. Hidden clans of the supermodel elite, unmasking rumors of a global society controlling fashion through occult means. There is a near mythical rumor that orbits the glittery realm of high fashion catwalks and glossy magazine covers, a rumor suggesting that beneath the global spectacle of supermodels and designer runways lies an elaborate conspiracy network. This network, some say, entwines the world's most influential politicians, celebrated musicians, high-profile YouTubers, entire nations' worth of cultural ambassadors, globally recognized companies, and even legendary inventors. The swirling theory holds that a secret clan of the supermodel elite exerts immense control over the direction of fashion, leveraging hidden occult practices to orchestrate cultural trends, sway consumer behavior, and even manipulate political events. Though mainstream culture dismisses it as an outlandish fantasy, a small but vocal legion of fashion truthers insists that behind the public-facing glamour stands a clandestine society, centuries in the making, employing esoteric rites and symbolic orchestrations to maintain their grip on the style-obsessed world. This account attempts to step behind the pristine runway curtains, weaving together whispers from behind closed doors, alleged insider testimonies, suspicious corporate linkages, and a tangle of cryptic sightings. Whether or not one deems it credible, the narrative underlines how powerful illusions can blend with actual power structures, forging conspiracies that enthrall the imagination. In the mainstream narrative, supermodels are living mannequins for haute couture, ephemeral muses catapulting ephemeral trends. Perhaps they're well-paid, internationally recognized, but hardly political or conspiratorial. They film commercials for high-end perfume brands. They walk exclusive fashion weeks in Milan, Paris, or New York, and they keep massive followings on social media. Yet for conspiracy theorists, this outward persona is a polished façade. They argue that these top-tier supermodels, the genuine icons who shape entire decades of style, hold membership in arcane circles that trace back to post-World War II reconstruction or earlier. Supposedly, the original impetus was to harness the universal language of beauty and desire as a subtle means of controlling global populations, since fashion and the illusions of celebrity can shift public focus more effectively than overt propaganda. Over decades, the rumor posits that some members of the world's political families, corporate heads, and even star musicians or YouTubers became entangled in these clans, forging a network of alliances that cross national boundaries. The cult's alleged goal: to funnel consumer energies, direct societal norms, and, some would claim, even test out forms of mass hypnosis through carefully designed runway shows drenched in occult symbolism. At first glance, this idea sounds ripped from the pages of a surreal thriller. Why would, say, an internationally famous supermodel known for fronting major magazines be part of a clandestine group dabbling in arcane magic? The conspiracy points to the entertainment industry's historical fascination with hidden societies. Starlets rumored to dabble in esoteric philosophies, film directors rumored to embed coded messages, and powerful music producers occasionally accused of employing hidden rites. The leap is that the supermodel elite stands at the crossroads of intangible aspiration, beauty, wealth, fantasy, and that harnessing these intangible forces can yield extraordinary power. If the watchers remain enthralled by the model's curated images and illusions, they might also become susceptible to deeper manipulations. Over time, the rumor claims entire global brands pivot in unison, introducing color palettes or silhouettes that convey coded signals. Political figures appear in orchestrated cameo roles at these exclusive soirees, forging pacts that transcend the usual lobbying or brand deals. The comedic-sounding notion of supermodels as puppet masters might obscure a darker undercurrent that the real agents of style can operate with minimal suspicion while governments negotiate behind the scenes, coaxed by the soft power of aesthetics. One dimension fueling these theories is the labyrinthine network of brand sponsorships and corporate endorsements. A top-tier model might hold ambassadorships with multiple global companies, cosmetics, beverage conglomerates, luxury automakers, even technology giants. For instance, the watchers might notice how certain outfits or symbolic motifs recur across those brand campaigns, or how statements from these models reference cryptic insider knowledge. In some corners of the internet, enthusiasts dissect these repeated symbolic motifs, like stylized eyes, geometric shapes reminiscent of sigils, or references to historically occult groups. Alleged corporate conspirators might be in on this, funneling billions in marketing budgets into these campaigns that supposedly incorporate hidden messages. Meanwhile, the average consumer sees only a stunning photograph, perhaps noticing at best a cool pyramid design on the jacket's back, or a stylized serpent along a handbag's clasp. For the conspiratorial mind, each repeated symbol is confirmation that an invisible council orchestrates a form of mass conditioning. At times, references swirl about well-known YouTubers who collaborate with supermodels in comedic sketches or brand crossovers. The conspiracist viewpoint is that these digital influencers, with tens of millions of subscribers, represent the next generation of subtle manipulation channels. They highlight how a comedic cameo might revolve around a mystic-themed concept, tarot readings, dream sequences, or coded illusions. Are these mere creative choices, or glimpses of a deeper plan to condition youth into accepting esoteric ideas masked as trendy contents? The same lines of suspicion target leading politicians who appear on talk shows or philanthropic events co-sponsored by supermodels. The cynics see behind each philanthropic gala the careful alignment of stage backdrops, colors, or date choices that form a mosaic of hidden messages. And if a major policy shift coincides with these public gatherings, conspiracists proclaim a covert nudge from the Klan. Meanwhile, to a typical observer, it's at best an unusual alignment, easily explained by marketing synergy or philanthropic convenience. The claims take a wilder turn when referencing rumored ritual gatherings in remote villas, an ephemeral circuit of lavish parties restricted to the supermodel elites, top-tier designers, select politicians, and a coterie of star musicians. At these gatherings, the rumor says, participants don robes or stylized outfits reminiscent of certain occult traditions, culminating in symbolic ceremonies intended to unify forces of creativity and influence. The watchers suggest that these ceremonies might evoke ancient goddess worship from pre-industrial societies, with a modern twist, harnessing the intangible currents of adoration that fans project onto these iconic figures. Some versions of the rumor describe bloodless but deeply psychological rites, perhaps culminating in pledges of devotion or a vow to shape public consciousness. Whispers circulate about secret audio recordings from the staffers who serve the event, capturing a swirl of chanting in unknown tongues or anthems referencing old deities from multiple mythologies. Yet no tangible evidence surfaces beyond the occasional rumor, fueling skepticism. Possibly these rumors are fueled by an intersection of human imagination, envy, and the age-old tradition of demonizing the powerful. Another notable thread merges into the narrative. Certain global inventors or R&D giants allied with these supermodel clans, bridging advanced technology and the ephemeral realm of style. Conspiracy theorists claim that behind each big consumer tech unveiling, like the next generation of augmented reality goggles, lurks a fashion tie that subtly shapes how we literally see the world. In one example, a rumor circulated about a famed designer supposedly collaborating with a technology magnate on an unpublicized prototype of psycho-visual gear, rumored to embed subliminal signals in the user's field of view. The claim was that top-tier models would be the first to roll out these devices or champion them as futuristic accessories. If true, it would pave a path for direct mental suggestion, forging an unstoppable marketing or even political persuasion tool. Reality, however, is simpler. Official statements from both the designer and the tech firm disclaim any knowledge of such a project. Skeptics laugh it off as an overblown read of a mere concept photograph from a runway show. The watchers remain unconvinced, pointing to how secrets are well guarded and that the clan's hallmark is to conceal their power in plain sight. In a more dramatic corner of rumor, a story circulates about a hidden catacomb in a Western European capital city where once a year, key supermodels convene with chosen ambassadors of powerful industries. This event, known only by a cryptic codename, Nightfall Reverie, or so rumor says, supposedly features arcane chanting, the placement of signature garments on altars, and a collective vow to orchestrate next season's global fashion direction. The garments themselves, after being charged with the group's collective energy, appear on runways weeks later, subconsciously enthralling the public. Some accounts go so far as to talk about temporary illusions that cause the watchers to see the models as luminous, ephemeral beings. A handful of anonymous claims from a self-styled ex-runway assistant mention witnessing shapes or shadows that did not conform to normal silhouettes, as if illusions or mild illusions were conjured in the flickering candlelight. The official stance from any relevant city authority is that no such catacomb gatherings exist beyond occasional tourist ghost tours. Yet the rumor resonates because it fits the conspiratorial narrative. Behind the scenes, style is decided not by spontaneity or creativity, but by hidden ritual. Does the rumor hold water, or is it a delirious tapestry woven from envy, paranoia, and the thrill of believing in hidden puppet masters? For each piece of supposed evidence, we find a plausible alternate explanation. For every suspicious cameo or color scheme alignment, we can chalk it up to marketing or artistic synergy. Fashion, after all, is cyclical and symbolic by nature. Could it be that supermodels rehash mystical aesthetics simply because it captivates? The conspiracists retort that the cyclical nature of fashion is exactly how hidden powers operate, embedding cyclical arcs of occult references to keep the public numb. The same old serpent or eye motifs, the same old hush-hush references in the runway set design, weaving illusions over time. The deeper question is whether illusions alone can shape a planet of billions, or if the entire claim is inflated hype. Meanwhile, accounts about personal experiences remain subjective, open to interpretation or imaginative leaps. Within the rumor's framework, the question arises: if these hidden clans truly exist, how do they relate to more established conspiracies, such as shadow governments, secret banking families, or clandestine alliances among politicians and corporate heads? The supermodel clans, some say, have a seat at that table, focusing on controlling cultural psychologies and harnessing intangible collective energies. Where the classic conspiracy sees bankers controlling finance or military generals controlling force, here the emphasis is on aesthetic and emotional influence. Perhaps the clan's power is more ephemeral but no less potent, since style is a universal language that can shift norms, unify or polarize generations, and distract from deeper political maneuvers. If these clans do orchestrate entire fashion cycles, and if they share alliances with top artists, brand moguls, and even YouTubers, then the collective potential to shape mass consciousness is formidable indeed. That might be the clan's real currency, forging ephemeral illusions that guide consumer sentiment, overshadowing more direct forms of propaganda. The watchers point out how politicians sometimes adopt newly minted fashion statements that ripple globally, potentially redirecting public focus away from controversies. Or how certain YouTube influencers slip ambiguous references to ancient symbols in their merch designs, hooking youth onto subtle esoteric cues. The watchers call it a psyops with glamour, a hidden war for hearts and minds fought with runway shows, ad campaigns, and cameo-laden social media blasts. Yet for all the gloom and intrigue, we see no smoking gun. No insider has publicly offered a cohesive confession. Instead, the rumor thrives on ephemeral details, cryptic statements from an off-the-record interview, suspicious coincidences in brand rollouts, or the odd cameo of a star politician at a high-fashion dinner where the runway theme involved pagan motifs. The watchers note that the clan's strength lies exactly in this ephemeral approach. They leave minimal direct evidence, relying on illusions and the public's short memory. If the rumor holds that these clans are centuries old, presumably they have refined the art of secrecy to near perfection. Meanwhile, critics highlight that the entire narrative might be an elaborate parody of how we over-interpret coincidences and symbolic gestures in a chaotic media environment. One might wonder about the immediate future. Could these rumored supermodel elites escalate their influence if technology and communication become even more immersive? With VR runways, wearable AI devices, and brand deals interwoven into daily digital experiences, the chance for subtle infiltration multiplies. If the watchers are correct, this infiltration might produce waves of social shifts that appear spontaneous but are cunningly orchestrated behind the scenes. Alternatively, the entire phenomenon might remain intangible, a side effect of contemporary longing for conspiracies in a complex world. After all, the notion that ephemeral, photogenic figures could secretly shape global agendas has a mythical flair that resonates with the modern appetite for dramatic revelations. No matter which angle one embraces, the rumor persists, refusing to vanish, fueled by each new fashion show or cryptic collaboration that sets tongues wagging about hidden agendas. In the end, hidden clans of the supermodel elite, unmasking rumors of a global society controlling fashion through occult means, stands as a testament to the human capacity for weaving conspiratorial tapestries in any domain that merges power, beauty, and secrecy. We see echoes of older fantasies about witches' covens disguised as aristocrats, or cunning illusion shaping kingdoms from behind velvet curtains. Now, in the 21st century, such fantasies adapt to the neon landscape of global media, featuring top models and brand empires. Are we dealing with a new form of intangible empire, or recasting old fears in a digital mirror? At the very least, the rumor underscores how the modern world's interactions, politicians forging alliances with star influencers, YouTubers bridging every youth culture, global companies funneling billions into brand synergy, and star inventors shaping tomorrow, can fuel speculation that there must be a hidden force orchestrating it all. Perhaps that force is an emergent property of collective marketing strategies. Maybe it's just hype. Or, for those who believe, it's a centuries-old clan that once moved in the shadows of royal courts, now clad in designer gowns, chanting coded anthems under strobe lights. Like so many conspiracies, the truth may forever remain half-formed, leaving the public to glean fleeting glimpses in behind-the-scenes footage or offhand comments from a supermodel whose eyes, for a split second, reflect something chilling. The watchers cling to those glimpses, certain that the façade's cracks reveal everything. Regardless of stance, the story stokes a sense of wonder. It suggests that behind each runway extravaganza, behind each luminous social media profile of a supermodel wearing avant-garde ensembles, might stand not just a marketing engine, but a hidden circle of gatekeepers. If so, it's an apt reflection of how illusions can govern us in ways we hardly notice. If not, well, the rumor stands as an imaginative map of modern anxieties, that we, as spectators, are so enthralled by glamour that we might inadvertently let those illusions color our collective choices. In that sense, the notion of a hidden clan is less about actual black magic and more about the unstoppable synergy of brand power, fandom, and celebrity worship. A synergy that, in the conspiratorial lens, is as potent as any ancient ritual. So the question remains, if you pass by a billboard featuring the newest top model, or watch a cameo-laden fashion show featuring cameo appearances from major politicians, star inventors, and YouTubers, do you see only a fabulous display of creativity, or do you sense something deeper in the background, an intangible hush that compels your attention in ways logic alone can't explain? That hush might be the echo of these rumored clans. Or it might simply be the brilliance of marketing and the malleability of the human psyche. Yet so long as there is glitz, secrecy, and the hunger for power, rumors of an occult league controlling fashion from behind the scenes will likely endure, forever perched between the improbable and the enthralling.